Hello, hello. We are going to get started in just a moment. So come on in if you're just joining in. I'm going to get my music started.
It's the Talk Nerdy to Me Joy show. And we get social with Joy. Get more tips at getsocialwithjoy.com. It's the Talk Nerdy to Me Joy show. And we get social with Joy. Get more tips at getsocialwithjoy.com. It's the Talk Nerdy to Me Joy show. And we get social with Joy. Get more tips at getsocialwithjoy.com. It's the Talk Nerdy to Me Joy show. And we get social with Joy. Get more tips at getsocialwithjoy.com. It's the Talk Nerdy to Me Joy show. And we get social with Joy. Get more tips at getsocialwithjoy.com.
Hello, hello. I hope you guys can see me okay. I'm looking at my chat room. One second. Let me pull up my chat room. See what's going on. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. Let's see. Let me reconnect to my chat room. So if you're just joining in, you're definitely gonna want to hop in the chat and let me know where you're chatting from, where you're coming in from. Clean my glasses. There we go. I'm looking at my chat window. Okay, I think we're all set. So here we go. So let me know. Jump in the chat because I'm not seeing the chat window come up. I'm seeing it on my iPad. I've got it on my iPad, but I wanted to welcome you guys. When you get in, make sure you jump in the chat room and you say hello to me. I am excited to bring to you the 5 things that you must do before going on Facebook Live. So hopefully you are just getting ready to jump in. I think we're just a little bit early. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to screen share and I'm going to do my intro one more time, and then we are going to get started because I am just a tiny bit early. So hold on one second. Give me one second here. Okay, one second. You know how Google Hangouts are. There's a few little things you have to jump through, a few little hoops to jump through to get it just right. Okay, let's try this again. Tell me if you guys can see this. Getting ready to share my screen. Maybe not. It worked the first time. Okay, forget it. Forget it. Okay, welcome, welcome. It is 12 noon, so I like to get started promptly, and I'm super excited to bring to you today my 5 best tips on going live on Facebook. So if you can and you're in the chat already, please make sure that you say hello to me and that you let me know where you are coming in from. And then I also want to take a little bit of a poll and tell me it with just an answer of a 1 or a no if you have ever done Facebook Live. So if you have done Facebook Live, put a 1 in the chat below. And if you have not, put a no, because I'm curious to know how many of you are actually doing Facebook Live and what you think of it. It's new, it's exciting. Some people call it a competitor to Periscope. Some people call it a competitor to Blab. Will it knock out Periscope? We're going to answer all those questions today for you, and then I'm going to just give you just a brief overview of how I use Facebook Live and some kind of best practices on what to do and what not to do if you've never done Facebook Live or you've done a few broadcasts and you're still kind of trying to get your arms around it. So if that sounds good, we're going to get started here in just a second here. I'm just checking my my page here. Okay, logging in. Okay, so let me share my screen and we'll get right to the slides. Okay, so again, today we are talking about the 5 things you must do before you live stream on Facebook or Periscope. You're going to learn the do's and, more importantly, the don'ts of setting up your first live stream. So I'm super, super excited to talk to you about that. So let me just make sure you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. One second here. Okay, how about now? You guys should be seeing it now, right? Okay, cool, cool, cool. Here we go. So a little bit about me. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about me, my background, and why I'm doing Periscope, why I'm doing Facebook Live, etc. Okay, so my story. Hopefully you guys are seeing this. It's a little bit delayed, I noticed. Interesting. Okay, so a little bit about me. Again, I'm Joy, and I am a former Apple employee. I spent 11 years at Apple Computer in various divisions. I started in the sales division and then moved over into the marketing division and then into the education division in the marketing department. So I basically created marketing programs for teachers and students from kindergarten all the way through college. And we created promotions and really interesting programs and products around getting teachers and students to embrace Apple technology. So I did that for 11 years. I absolutely loved working for Apple. It was like my second degree. It was amazing. It was something that I couldn't believe that I was privileged enough to work for the company, and I really, really enjoyed every single day. However, there came a time when after about 9 years, I met and fell in love with my now husband and was commuting back and forth from our home to Cupertino, which is where Apple Computer is located. And we got married and had our first child. And I had that child in my son in daycare at the Apple Daycare Center. And we were commuting again an hour to an hour and 20 minutes each way every day. I was working 40 to 60 to 80 hours a week. I was traveling all over the US, again, helping educators in schools to really embrace Apple technology. And that part I absolutely loved. But what I didn't love was losing the balance. I had worked so hard to have a career and then become a mom. I really felt like I was giving up a piece of me and not being, and I was so torn because I wanted to have a career, but I also wanted to be a mom. And, you know, that is a privilege to be a mom. And I just didn't want to pass that opportunity up. So one night when we were driving home and my son had the bottle in his mouth and I was looking in my rearview mirror, and it was as if my life passed forward. And I said to myself, do I really want to have this, what I would call just an imbalance in my life for the rest of my life and working for the man? And it was then that I decided that I really need to make a break from the corporate world and start to create my own path and my own destiny. So I then became an entrepreneur and independent contractor for high-tech companies. So I worked for Sun and Hewlett Packard and Palm and Cisco and did marketing programs for them for a while. And then as I became pregnant with my second son, I became a fitness coach for Beachbody and started to do more fitness work because my passion has been in fitness and technology. So I was able to combine the two and actually do fitness coaching, which I still do, and I absolutely love doing that as a part-time job. But it was then that I also realized that my truest passion was really helping others figure out technology. So as a fitness coach, I would get all of my coaches and coaches on other teams asking me how to do social media and how to create graphics and how to put together, you know, really cool social media campaigns and to get present on social media. And I absolutely love teaching other people. So I knew then that I really wanted to spend most of my time becoming a social media coach, which is where I'm at today. So for the last 3 or 4 years, all I've done really basically is to really help other entrepreneurs that have a hard time figuring out all this new technology with the advent of live streaming and being on camera and how to design courses for other entrepreneurs and how to teach other people social media. So that's what I do primarily, and I absolutely love it. So give me a yes in the chat below if you're also an entrepreneur and you've gone through a similar journey where you've left the corporate world maybe, and now you're kind of creating your own path as well. So here today, let's talk a little bit about what you're going to learn. So today you're going to learn the 5 things you must do before going on any live stream platform, how to prepare for your first live stream, and the do's and don'ts of live streaming and setting yourself up for success. So if that sounds good, let's move on forward. Let me just check our chat really quick. Okay, number 1, and you guys can either take notes, or if you signed up for the webinar and you're in the chat right now, then you will be receiving this as a download, as a PDF. So hopefully that works for you guys. Number 1, you don't want to shoot from the hip. So before you live stream, you have to ask your followers what they want to learn from you. The first thing that I did before I started live streaming was to say to my followers, so I have groups on Facebook that are special interest groups, we'll call them. And in those groups, I asked those followers that were in the groups that I created what exactly they were being most challenged with and what is it that they wanted to learn. And I gave them some options. For example, I would say, I'm thinking of doing this particular class. Would you guys be interested in learning how to create a freemium or a freebie or a giveaway to build your list? Or I would say, would you most be interested in learning Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, or Periscope? And then I would get a poll. I'd get information from my followers, and from that I could really discern where their pain points were and then design my social media, my live streaming content around that. So when I say don't shoot from the hip, I mean just because it's of interest to you, it may not be exactly the pain point that you're needing to solve for your followers. So hopefully that makes sense. You guys give me a yes in the chat below if that makes sense to you. You have been a stay-at-home mom for 25 years. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. So give me a yes if you guys are seeing the slides as I'm seeing them. I'm hoping you're seeing them. Right now I'm seeing join us, which is interesting. Okay, so hold up. Don't quite push that button yet. Just because I gave you that first tip doesn't mean we're quite ready to go on live stream, right? Because right now, all you've done so far is figure out your pain points of your followers. The next thing I want you to do is to figure out your setup. And I'll go through some setup here in a minute when we're through our slides, but you definitely want to have a really good environment in terms of a setup on camera. So if you look at when I introduce myself on camera today, I am in my home office. I have a wallpaper background that I purchased. I have a great light, a great microphone, and a really great camera on my laptop for my webinars. And then for my live streaming, you're obviously going to have a really great smartphone with an awesome connection. Connection meaning data, and either data or Wi-Fi or Ethernet. So those are like the deal breakers. Those are the three, what I call the trifecta. If you don't have a good light and people can't see you, they're going to be turned off very quickly. So you do definitely need a good light. If they can't hear you and you're scratchy, or your microphone isn't working, or you have no microphone, no matter how great your content is, it will fall on deaf ears, literally, because they won't be able to hear you or understand you. And then obviously the technology that you're using, your smartphone, has to be the latest and greatest, or have enough data on the plan so that you aren't hogging your data and your battery isn't running out midstream during your live stream. So make sure those three are done. I do have a cheat sheet. I do have special discounts on all of those. And the other thing that I would add in there, you guys, especially when you start live streaming, is you really need a great tripod. So make sure that you have a tripod that is steady. I use Archon mounts tripods, and I'll show you at the end of the broadcast. I'll show you the various ones I use for live streaming now. So do you guys have any questions? Please make sure to put them in the chat. Number 3, this is a really, really important one. You are going to want to grab their attention. And what I mean by grab their attention is you really only get one shot to grab digital eyeballs in this huge competitive world of social media and now live streaming. You're going to want to grab their attention by, one, having a great title. And a great title means something that is solving a pain point for someone, something that someone would ask or someone would search on in Google. That makes a really great title. You do want to use hashtags on Facebook Live. There's been some discussion around use them or not use them, but they are searchable in Facebook and soon to be searchable in Periscope. So no more than 1 to 3 hashtags that are relevant, again, hashtags that are relevant to your target audience. Oh gosh, I hope you're seeing it, Knifey. Let me just do this. Let me stop sharing and then hi there. So it looks like some of you have not seen, I see the dark screen as well. I'm seeing the same, says Howard. Okay, well, let's go back to me now, right? Give me a yes in the chat below if you're seeing me. Tell me what's seeing, you guys. I'm seeing the same. No slides. Well, we will just redo that really quick. Okay, tell me what you're seeing now, Barbara and Howard. Okay, you should be seeing me right now. Let's go to share screen. Let's go to, I think we're going to try Evernote. Howard, are you seeing me now? Yes, no slide, but we'll try to figure out why not. It's probably my end, I'm going to say, just because Evernote. Okay, we're going to try Evernote. Sometimes Evernote works better. Okay, I'm pulling up Evernote. Give it just 1 second, you guys. It's just going to take a second. Ta-da! Okay, tell me now that you see. So let's just quickly review the 5 things you must do before you live stream. That was number 1. And then let's go down to slide number 2. We talked about my story, working for Apple, becoming a fitness coach. There's definitely a slight delay, I noticed. That's very interesting. Here it comes. And my slides are so pretty, so I definitely want you guys to see them. It's all about the prettiness, right? I see slides now. Yay. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for telling me. So number 1 was don't shoot from the hip. Ask your followers what they want to learn from you. Remember, you can use Periscope as your focus group too. Use Periscope to say, you know, poll your audience, because once you build an audience on Periscope and you're scoping about your passion, keep asking your followers on things that they've learned from you. And you can use your data from statistics like Full Scope TV, and now Facebook has analytics as well, obviously, on your videos. You can see which ones grabbed the most engagement, which ones had the most comments, by using apps like Full Scope TV or your Facebook analytics on Facebook Live. And that way you can really hone in on what it is your audience wants to hear from you. Does that make sense? Give me a yes in the chat below. Okay, now we're moving down, and I said, hold up, don't push that button just yet, because I've only given you 1 great tip. The second tip was on setup. So I'll give the Google Hangouts a chance to catch up here. And I'm on Ethernet, so I don't know. This seems pretty slow a little bit. Okay, so the setup. Remember, you need lights, camera, and action, right? So lights, sound, and phone for live streaming. So on live streaming, obviously a smartphone that has a really, really great data plan, has good connection, and it has a full battery life, basically. So make sure you have that. And if you're on Wi-Fi, make sure it's a strong Wi-Fi connection as well. And then as far as lighting, I have a couple lighting sources that I use and recommend. I use Chat Light, and I do have a discount on that, and I'll put that in the follow-up email for you guys so that you can get the discount. I also use an Archon tripod, and I have a few different ones I'll show you towards the end of this broadcast. And then I also use a couple different lighting sources. I use Chat Light for all of my live streams, and then I also use Chat Light or a Diva ring light. A Diva ring light I use mostly for my webinars. Okay, number 3. Hopefully you guys are still with me, and the slides are advancing now. Oh, good, Barbara. I'm so glad you can see. Is that phone still functional? I'm not sure if you're talking about that phone on the slide, Howard, or this one. Okay, here we go. Number 3, grab their attention. So that means a great title. Uh-oh, what happened? Oh, there we go. Interesting. Okay, a great title, 1 to 3 hashtags, pre-promote your, whether it's your scope or your Facebook Live. What I mean by pre-promote is you're going to do a really nice graphic to put on Twitter, to put on Facebook, to put on Instagram, whatever social media channels you play in, you're going to want to pre-promote that, as well as pre-promote it on your Facebook pages as well, to let people know. You want to prime the pump to let them know, hey, by the way, you know those things you asked me about that you guys were really wanting to learn about? I am going to be doing a Facebook Live, and I'm going to be coming on XYZ day at this time. Try to schedule it out so that people expect you and people know to come back for the replay if they miss it. Tell them a little bit, tease them about what they're going to learn. And then once you go live, You want to introduce yourself, get to the point, tell them exactly what they're going to learn, and then tell them a little bit about you, and then get to it. Be clear and concise, and then be gone. Does that make sense? Give me a yes in the chat. Okay, number 4. Number 4 is like the super, super duper magic one, because it's really where the meat is and where you can stand out and be different on this crazy busy platform called live streaming. So number 4 is all about give it good. And by give it good, I mean you want to be real and relatable. So you're probably seeing a lot of influencers on Facebook Live, as well as you've seen them on Periscope. And you see them doing their own shtick, and they have their own personality and their own nuances and their own kind of environment that they play in terms of what they do well, and they just stay in that lane. I want you to think about that when you start defining your, what I call your show, your live streaming show. What is it about you that you can bring to the table, that you have a special flavor, a special spice that you add to it? Even if it is similar content and you see someone else doing it, remember, only you can deliver that value the way you do. And people will be drawn to you. You will attract a tribe based on how you relate to people and how people relate back to you. Whether they believe you're authentic or not, it's very transparent. That's the thing about live streaming, is that it's raw and it's real, and there's no really over scripting it, which is beautiful, and why people are drawn to this whole live streaming thing is that you can get so many more people like you in your tribe, because they start to say, hey, you know, Joy is real and relatable. She's, you know, her slides aren't advancing right. She doesn't, you know, sweat the small stuff, but she always delivers great content. So that's why I like her. Or, you know, Barbara, you know, she always delivers great information on this particular area that I need to know more about. I like her raw sense of humor, or I like her brutal honesty, you know, or maybe Howard has a direct way of coming across on camera that I get, that I relate to, and I can learn very, very quickly from. That is why, that is how you connect on any live streaming platform, and for that matter, any social media platform. So think about when you go live on whether it's Facebook Live or Periscope or any of the other ones that are out there, I want you to think about not trying to have a conversation with masses of people, but to think about having a conversation with that one person that you've painted in your mind of the ideal client, of the person that needs your services, your solutions, your value the most, and give them a name in your head and give them a demographic, a psychographic, exactly what they look like, how much they, where they live, kind of, you know, get their personality kind of defined in your mind and talk to that person. So pretend that that person is in the room next to you and you're having an authentic, real, relatable conversation with just that one ideal client. When you do that, you are going to start reaching so many people, because there are so many people out there like that, that have those same needs, wants, and desires. Does that make sense? Give me a yes in the chat below. Okay, we're almost through. We have a couple more slides. Okay, number 4, we talked about giving it good, right? So if your authentic self, remember, if you are your authentic self, you have 0 competition, right? 0. You have no competition, you guys. Don't try to be someone else. Yes, you can get inspiration from other people that are doing live streaming really well. Yes, you can get ideas, but remember, you have all the gifts right within you. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Be your authentic self and do it well using the tips that I gave you. and you will have absolutely no competition. Number 5. Okay, number 5 is a really good one as well, because number 5 really kind of takes everything that I've taught you so far and then dials it up just a little bit more. And we go into deep detail in our 5-day challenge that you're going to be invited to for live streaming. So number 5, it's all about the pre-show. So pre-show is like a pre-party. And then obviously there's the after party that we'll talk about more in the class, but the pre-show is where you really amp it up. You can create events now on Facebook, events tailored around your Facebook Live, and you can live stream inside an event page. I don't know if you guys knew that. You can live stream inside your group pages. You can share once you go live to other pages and other groups that you manage and own. So think of it as you are, you're basically a talk show host is what you are, and you're offering a show. You're going to create that show as if you were to create a Emmy award-winning show on TV. You're going to call it, have it a name. You're going to brand it with your special talents and your gifts, and you're going to make it like a party. Remember, you're the host, so you are there to, one, entertain and give value, give great content. And by entertain, I don't mean, you know, be silly and over the top and have to be crazy, but just be entertaining in terms of engaging. And engaging means making sure you know how to relate to people that are commenting inside your chat, as well as going back to the replays, which is different than on Periscope. Now on Facebook Live, obviously, you can see these chats, and these chats live on forever, as does the video in Facebook Live. So you have this huge opportunity for a longer shelf life for your live video content in Facebook Live. And then obviously that video can be saved to your camera roll and then be repurposed so many times over in terms of YouTube channels, teasers on Pinterest, teasers on Instagram, and then obviously doing a redo over on Periscope as well. So that is how I have learned to use the different live streaming platforms and how I'm using Facebook Live right now. And then that takes us to the follow-on to all this. So the follow-on to all this is that everything that I've given you so far is just kind of an overview, kind of just skimming over the most important things that you need to think about before going live on Facebook. But if you're still kind of on the fence and you're still needing some hand holding and you want to get in a group where it's a private Facebook group, and every single day we're going to take you from doing 0 or maybe a few live streams before to actually doing live streams consistently inside the group, our safe environment where you can actually practice your skill set and get really good at it in 5 days. So I'm inviting you now to click on that link, and the link is above also in the chat. It's bit.ly/321, all caps, go live. And that is how you join my challenge. And the challenge will start in 2 weeks, and we all start together. I'm your leader for the group. It's going to be super, super fun. I do a similar one for Periscope, and the students in my Periscope class have done amazingly well, and they're gaining tons of followers over on Periscope now. So I decided, you know what, I wanted to really treat Facebook Live as its own little entity, and because it does deserve its own special course and its own attention, it's a lot different than Periscope. There's a lot more to it than meets the eye, and I want you guys to be successful on it. Yes, treat it like a show, exactly. Joy, when you go live in your group, does it automatically go live on your main profile? That's a great question, Knifey. No, it does not. You would have to share it out from different profiles. You can share out, if you go live on your business page, you can then share from your business page once you go live to your group pages. So let's go back to answering some questions, and I want to show you guys some of my tripods, okay? So I mentioned my tripods. This one here is the starter tripod, and again, I'll put all the links to the discounts in the group. Let me see if you guys are seeing that. Okay, it's just going to take a second, I think, to refresh. Okay, there we go. So Archon Mounts makes this one. This one is an 11-inch tripod. The neat thing about this is that these bend and flex, and you can put them around pretty much anything. This works indoors or outdoors. So if you're doing Facebook Live, it works really, really well. I really love that one. If you are, and I do not support streaming while you are driving. I am highly against that. So just to go on record, they do make this. It's a magnetic, not a magnetic, but a sticky little suction mount that I love. And the sticky suction mount is good for putting on your dashboard. So if you're stationary in your car and you want to do Facebook Live, you've got a great data plan, etc., or a great connection, you could use this. I actually use it at home in my home office, and I stick it on I have a whiteboard desktop, and I stick it on that. That's made by Archon Mounts as well. Okay. And then the other ones, if you guys are doing, let's say you're doing a dual broadcast and you're brave enough to go dual stream on Periscope and Facebook Live, you're going to want something like this. Oops. Okay, this is called the Dual Broadcaster. You can see I've got my webinar up on the iPad, and then I can put my iPhone right here. So I can put my iPhone here. Dual Broadcaster, it's got a super heavy stand, and that is what I use for when I live stream. Oh, cool, you have that tripod? Nice. So yeah, I use that tripod. Actually, I put my iPad on there, and then I put my iPhone in the other one. And when I Periscope from the phone, and then I turn on the iPad and I share from the iPad, I share my Periscope out. I would do the same for Facebook Live. I would go live on the phone, and then I'd go to my iPad and I would share out that live stream to various groups once I go live. So that's the way to work around that. There's one other tripod that's becoming very, very popular. I have a 15% discount on these, you guys. So if you're looking for a tripod, this one is great if you're doing fitness workouts. Okay, this is the new one from Archon Mounts. It's got a 29-inch stand. This is actually not extended all the way. You can extend it up. Let me see here. But anyways, this comes all the way up. There we go. Like this. You can see how tall it is. It's super tall. Okay, but what I love about this is that it's got this articulating mount right here. So again, let me show you what you would do. And we'll get into detail in this in the class on how to use these. But let's say you're doing a cooking show or a fitness show or something where you're drawing, etc., on Facebook Live or Periscope. You're going to want one of these because then you can articulate this down on your desk or on the countertop, or if you're working out, you can see it extends all the way up, and you can show different things from that one. And that's the Archon Mounts 29-inch. Really, really cool one. And then for lights, I use the chat light. The chat light is $29.99, and I have a free shipping code for this as well. This one is just a super beautiful little light. It hooks right on your phone. You can see right here. It's got this little spring-loaded device, so it hooks over any phone, and any phone with even a battery pack on it or a Mophie case or anything like that. Works really, really well. It's got 2 settings, bright and brighter. It's a beautiful natural white light. I highly recommend that. And then if you want to go really, really high-end, you can use a Diva ring light, which is about $180, and then has you have to buy a tripod to go with it. I don't recommend that for live streaming, especially if you're live streaming on the go, obviously, you're going to want a portable light, or you are live streaming from your home office, you can just use a chat light. I really try to keep it affordable, especially if you're starting out. And then, of course, you're going to need a microphone. So I recommend the Movo mic. This is the one I use. It's like, I want to say $19 maybe. And that's on my cheat sheet as well. So you can get all of those. Let me see, are there any other questions on what we talked about? So we talked about tripods, lights, stands, sound, and then of course a smartphone you're going to need. And then those tips I gave you, I think, are invaluable tips, whether you're doing live streaming on any platform right now. Those are tips that can be pretty transferable across any of the platforms. So let's see, who else is asking questions here in the chat? Joy, when you go live, that makes much more sense. Okay, we talked about that. I think that's it. I don't see any more questions. So my link to the class is bit.ly321 go live. That should be all in caps. If it's not working, please message me on Twitter, but I should be working. I put it up the other day, so I'm thinking if it's not working, let me know for sure. I appreciate your time on this broadcast. Again, if you have any questions on the class that I'm offering or want to do a follow-up on this webinar, please let me know. I would be happy to answer any follow-up questions regarding this webinar or the class that's coming up in 2 weeks. And again, you can find all of my information over at talknerdytomejoy.com. That's my website, so make sure that you go over to talknerdytomejoy.com. Let me see if I can. I don't think I have that in here. So talknerdytomejoy.com is my website. Who is the maker again of, yes, it's Archon mounts for the tripods. And again, I do have a link. If you go to archonmounts.com and you put in Periscope Joy, so Periscope Joy will get you a 15% discount on Archon mounts, which is amazing. That's a really, really great discount. And then let's see, the tripod, the background ideas. So like this background right here, I got from Target. It's a stick-on wallpaper, and I paid like $35 for it. It came in 3 sheets, and I ended up only using 2 because when I live stream, I'm pretty tight shot. So I didn't need to cover the entire wall. So it does make a difference, and it brands you when you find something that, represents your brand and your colors. I say, put a little investment into either, putting on a fresh coat of paint on your walls, or in something in your brand color, like that green is my brand color as well. Or go and get, the stick-on wallpaper. I do have some resources online where you can buy these backdrops as well, and then, brand yourself with it. So that's one idea that I have on that. So Knifey, I'm not sure which link you're talking about was not found, but I will follow up with you on that. Oh, good. You got it. Very, very good. Any other questions? When I use the other microphone I use is the Blue Yeti, which I use only for my webinars. So this is the Blue Yeti. See, it's my brand color. I use that for my webinars, but I don't use it for obviously for my live streaming. Live streaming is really, really cool. It's, it's only going to get better. And the fact that Facebook has such a huge engine of people and money behind it, you're going to start to see changes and improvements and enhancements to Facebook Live very, very quickly. I think they can move quicker because of the resources they have and the team they have behind this initiative called Facebook Live. You're going to be able to use, and there's a couple cameras on the market already, where you're going to be able to live stream right from cameras onto Facebook Live, which is really, really neat. Also, they purchased a company called Masquerade last month, and Masquerade has a very Snapchat-ish-like app. It's a standalone app on a smartphone, and there is a rumor that Facebook may do a standalone Facebook Live app where you wouldn't have to turn on you know, the Facebook app and go live from within Facebook. It would just be a standalone app, much like Periscope is. So it's hard to say, but it's going to be a really, really interesting year in terms of live streaming, and the landscape for live streaming is only going to get better. And that's why I invite you and encourage you to just use the tips that I provided. You know, download the cheat sheet that I'm going to send you. If you signed up for this webinar, obviously you're going to get it. And then jump in our class. If you jump in the class, it's a really small investment for a great return. You're going to learn in 5 days. You're going to get comfortable on camera is what you're going to do. I'm going to push you outside of your comfort zone. You know, change only happens when you go outside your comfort zone. And I'm a really good encourager and a motivator. You can ask any of my students. I've taken my classes before, and they all say that, you know, without that encouragement, they probably wouldn't have done it. They would still be sitting right where they're at and watching other people do it. You guys all have great gifts within you. You all have talents. It's just a matter of someone else finding them and telling you, this is where you shine. You know, this is your gift. This is the lane you need to be in. Now let's refine it and let's work on getting you ready for live streaming, and then to just go for it. Thank you so much, Tamisha. I appreciate that. Thank you, Pat. I saw someone else use a tablecloth. Yeah, tablecloths work well. Curtains work really well. Just be careful not to put like a big picture with a tree coming out of it behind you. You don't want like leaves and trees growing out of your head. So I teach you all about kind of the little tricks behind the camera. Okay, cool. You found the link. Yes, you can go and buy a muslin cloth at a fabric store, and you can dye that cloth if you're a DIYer. If you go on Pinterest and you look up backdrops, you know, photo backdrops or backdrops for video, you will find all kinds of great ideas if you're a DIYer. I'm a Target girl. Make it easy and simple. This sticks on, and then I can take it off if I decide I want to change it up sometime. You can also get like really cool, you can go to a company called Blick, B-L-I-K. You can get really cool stickers, and you can get them in your logo. So imagine like I had this wall behind me, and it was just all solid green, and I just wanted Talk Nerdy to Me Joy. I could send in my image for my logo, and they would produce that in a basically a label, a stick-on, basically an adhesive to the wall, and I could use that as my brand with maybe my website on it. That would be really, really cool. So yeah, there's all kinds of ideas, and that's the cool thing about our private group is I share all of the behind the scenes stuff and the things that I've learned along the way, and teach you how not to spend a fortune to get started on live streaming, but to still come across looking really, really pro, and really hone in on your content. So I hope this has been helpful for you guys, and I appreciate all the comments. I'm seeing such great comments on the chat. Thank you, Howard, for all of your tips. I certainly appreciate that. And Barbara and Pat and Tamisha and Knifey, and who else was on? I think that's it for now that I can see. Okay, so I'll try to send you guys the replay of this because I know we had some technical difficulties at the beginning, and I appreciate you guys having patience with me on Google Hangouts. You know, technology is always fun, right? And it's just a matter of just breathing through it and getting through it and delivering the content. So hopefully you guys got some great content today, and again, I'll send you a cheat sheet and send you the follow-up link so that you can get in the course, which starts in 2 weeks. So we will see you very, very soon. If you don't see me here, obviously follow me over on my Facebook page, which is Get Social with Joy. I also have a group called Social Media Bootcamp. If you look on Facebook, you can find me over there. And then I'm over on Periscope under my name at Joy Paulson, and same on Twitter. And where else? Instagram. I'm on Instagram at Joy Paulson. So everywhere on social media, in those places, I really try to play pretty strongly in those platforms. But that's it for now. Thanks again. And talknerdytomejoy.com is the website where all of my classes are. except for the newest one. That was just a beta class that I'm throwing out to you guys. So you guys will be my first students in it. I'm super excited to take you through it. Just go to bit.ly/321 go live. We will see you soon. Bye-bye.